Look, y'all, we are back for part three, man. You know what I'm saying? Part three. Let's get into it.
Would later make the same fishbowl reference during one of his IG lives, saying how he's trying to catch a shark in a shark tank.
I caught a in a fishbowl, trying to see if you would catch a big shark in a fish tank.
And a few months later, in March 2024, the Trap City and Lil dissing would continue as Jeff and Vert released a song and music video titled FTO, a common abbreviation for F the Ops. And on the song, Vert first raps how his old friends have become his ops now, before Jeff comes in, starting his verse with
crazy. That little Vert dude looks like Dirk. Like when it looks like a darker version of Lil Durk, like, you know what I'm saying?
a wild opening line, saying that he left 7 people dead in his city, and this time dissing Lil by name, saying how he's not giving any passes and anyone lacking is getting smoked, before saying how they're smoking on a Lil pack. Later that same month, Jeff and JB Bin Laden would release their song and music video titled Run But Can't Hide, where Jeff raps just like Vert in the previous song that he's now beefing with guys that he used to be so close with and that they used to sleep in the same bed. This would be almost word for word the same thing that Jeff's mother would allegedly tell him in a text message, where she appeared to praise him for the murders he was doing in the streets and appearing to be in awe of her son's violent reputation, saying, "Go ahead, son, your name ringing bells in the streets." I said, "Is that my boy?" And going on to say that she loves to see him sliding on the kids who slept in the same bed as him as a child. With this old...
Are you serious? Your mom congratulating you for sliding on the ops? What? Nah, that's insane. Ain't no way congratulating you for sliding on ops and you in this. I mean, his dad was in the streets too, so I'm about, come on now, what?
Instagram story from Jeff showing this supposed text exchange with his mother going viral after his death and even getting reactions from channels like No Jumper. Dissing Lil and Trap City had now become a common occurrence in the Bloodhound's music and would continue like clockwork. In the song No Tomorrow by Q50, Jeff and a rapper called FG Red dropped with a music video in April 2024. Q50 raps how he calls the last dead op from the 67th, aka Trap City, an Uber pack. And this was once again followed by that same month with Jeff's solo song Tony Montana, where Jeff raps how they're killing their ops while the ops are throwing up L's. This once again seemingly being a direct reference to Lil, as Jeff and the Bloodhounds would also make it their habit following the death of Lil to drop L's as a diss to him. In the song 333 by Lil Jeff, Q50, and the honorary Bloodhound member Lil Scoom from a set called The Burly Boys, that would first appear online in May 2024, but would later be released after Jeff's death, together with a music video. Jeff would once again seemingly reference catching Lil inside of a car, saying how Lil saw him and realized he was stuck. Even after his death, new songs would keep coming out, where Jeff references catching someone in a drive share car, such as one song that was aptly titled Lift, that seemingly leaked shortly after his death, where Jeff raps how he makes his ops disappear like magic and that somebody shouldn't have been driving in that lift. Jeff himself would also acknowledge that he was dissing Lil in almost every song on his posthumous album, Stepping in Blood, on the song In Your Home. There's also some rumors that Q50 had in fact gotten shot in the leg not long before the murder of Lil, possibly by Trap City, with Jeff and Q50 sometimes seemingly referencing this in their songs. Meanwhile, Trap City members were mourning their loss, with even respected older members like OTF Black and Trap City.
So they used to be cool with Trap City? Cause they said, well, this is all over a chain. Like, if it's all a chain, they should just like talk it out. What's the point of beefing with each other if y'all was cool? Like, come on now, man. Now you're saying that killing each other who y'all used to be cool with.
Rob changing their Facebook profile pictures to pictures of Lil soon after his death. However, the death of Lil would also hit very close to home for even Jeff himself due to his father being from the area that's now part of Trap City. And following his passing, many people who were seemingly close to Jeff's father would post their tributes to Lil. The rapper Tero, who used to be close with Vert before the beef between Drill City and Trap City, would also make a tribute to Lil in late 2023, saying how he wished he could get him back, to which Jeff would troll Tero by liking the post with an emoji that's hugging a heart. No wonder then that the very next day, Tero would repost another picture of him with Lil, this time with a message implying that the next year, the Bloodhounds were going to go extinct. This post now seemingly eerily prophetic, giving what would indeed take place in 2024. But before 2023 would come to a close, 2 other people would lose their lives under mysterious circumstances, with these 2 becoming the latest victims of Lil Jeff, according to online rumors. In the early morning hours of November the 1st, 2023, a man and a woman were inside a parked car on the 8300 block of South Dorchester Avenue, which is in Mixed Mob's hood. These 2 were known in the streets as Lil Deuce, real name Donardo Buford, allegedly from a set called called Foster Park, located in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood, located in the far south side. And he was with an infamous female gangster known as D-Money, real name Desiree McGee, who was allegedly affiliated with numerous sets, including the infamous Woodlawn sets like STL EBT, Gyro City, and Taekwon World, as well as the E-Block Hardaway set from the east side that Wooski's brother Lowski was part of. While the two were sitting in the vehicle, the car was reportedly approached by two suspects
you
who
can
would
be part of that many sets? That is dog.
fire on D-Money and Lil Deuce, shooting D-Money once whilst hitting Deuce multiple times in the chest, with both of them being transported to the University of Chicago Medical Center, where they would unfortunately both be pronounced dead.
We're told it was around 12:39 Wednesday morning when a 19-year-old man and a 25-year-old woman were sitting inside of a parked vehicle. Police are saying the two suspects fired shots hitting the 19-year-old man multiple times in his chest. The 25-year-old woman was shot once in her torso. Both were taken to UFC emergency room where they were pronounced dead. As of right now, no one is in custody, but Area 3 detectives are now investigating this. If you have any information that could lead to an arrest, police would like you to contact them immediately. For now, we're here in the Mary Nook neighborhood. I'm Glenn Marshall, WGN News.
This is another one of the rumors regarding Jeff's alleged body count that seems to have very little proof going for it, and many drill fans on places like Reddit and Chiracology have seemed either confused about this rumor or have straight up denied.
You know what's so crazy is Chiracology or Reddit, bro. People on Reddit, I feel like they really be undercover detectives, because how do they even know this type of stuff? Most of the people on Reddit have no profile picture. It's just random names. Like, you feel me? Like, how do they even like it, bro? It's crazy how some of them even know about this stuff, bro.
With one of the few pieces of evidence used to justify this claim being a post made by Jeff on April 2024 when he would quote an unreleased King Von song whilst adding 10 emojis after the lyrics, with many fans considering this as Jeff literally listing all 10 of his supposed victims, with number 7 of the emojis being a so-called woman's hat emoji. This emoji then supposedly being a reference to D-Money. Interestingly, Jeff would actually seemingly go back and edit this caption, switching the hat emoji to a princess emoji, making it even more obvious that he was indeed seemingly referring to a female victim. The so-called rescue worker's helmet emoji next to it, on the other hand, is much more open for interpretation, with one possible option being that the emoji's red color actually refers to the Black Pea Stones, who were known to rep the color red, with Foster Park, where Lil Deuce was from, actually being a Black Pea Stone stronghold. Or alternatively, Deuce could be symbolized by the crown emoji on either side of the princess emoji, crown being one of the symbols used by the People's Nation gang alliance that the Black Pea Stones belongs to. In fact, in a tribute video for Lil Deuce posted on his Instagram story after his death, his family can be seen putting crown decorations on top of a cake for his 20th birthday. Following the death of D-Money, Jeff would also boast on social media how the Bloodhounds were killing everyone, including women and kids.
Hey, lil' Fredo, what you want, lil' cuz? I still love you, folk, but it's like my little brother feel how he feel, and I'm around, we don't right or wrong or dead wrong, you know that. So it is what it is, folk. I wish y'all the best of luck, but we do spank ass, and you know this personally. For real, for real. We really kill kids, bitch. If it get to that point, it'll make me mad enough, mamas will start getting all type of my shit known right. My shit really up and purse fuck with my head, face ass, neck ass, back ass.
It's also worth noting that D-Money was seemingly close.
Then they be on here on social media, on live, talking about this.
With numerous members of Trap City and would do stuff like promote their music and wish them a happy birthday on their social media. Moreover, some people close to D-Money, such as the rapper Flame, who is also from the SDL, EBT, Gyro City and Taekwon World areas, would seemingly diss Lil Jeff following his death. There was also seemingly some kind of connection between Jeff and Lil Deuce, as the two were actually following each other on Instagram. But while these two victims seem like wild rumors at best, the next two are commonly believed to be the work of Jeff and the other Bloodhounds, with these two victims in many ways launching Jeff into the spotlight and helping him rise to become one of the most infamous.
Two students. Oh, that's what it was. This the part when they kids like stole something or something, and then they got back and Lil Jeff was like, "Oh, them two
names in modern Chicago drill, as well as being one of the most ruthless shootings the west side of Chicago had ever seen."
Yeah, this is. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. This is right here. Them two kids that I think that was walking home from school, and dog.
To understand the events that would take place in
you guys are right there.
If you look at it, bro, most of these people are like kids, bro, and they in the they don't really know, bro. I'm trying to tell you, they don't really know nothing, bro. All they know is this. They think this is cool. This is lit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come on now. Like, we as people gotta wake up, bro. This is not good at all, man. This is not good. You telling people want to live like this where they gotta watch over their shoulder every time they go out somewhere? Come on now. Ow, come on.
What that is? Oh, give me some.
But Vert had also made friends from outside his close neighborhood, with at least one of these friends being all the way out in the west side of Chicago, more specifically a hood known as The Jungle, which is located in the near west side neighborhood close to the United Center, which is home to both the Chicago Bulls NBA team and the Chicago Blackhawks NHL team. The relationship...
What? Hold on, what did he just say?
Specifically a hood known as The Jungle, which is located in the near west side neighborhood close to the United Center.
Where's the United Center? Oh, he said near. Where's it at?
Center, which is home to both the Chicago Bulls NBA team and the Chicago Blackhawks NHL team. The relationship between Vert and his friend from Jungle would continue into their adult years, with Vert seemingly taking trips with the members from Jungle as recently as 2021. There's also a vlog from 2022 by YouTuber J Global Visuals, where Vert can be seen hanging out in the Jungle's hood with them.
Real stop, man. Man. No, man. Jungle life, man. We was never known to go. Never. Ever. Jungle life, man. Follow that shit, man. Turn the camera. This real live right now. Guys from out south, see them do these shit. You know, I'm from the east, but got killers from west. CDK, same K, fuck all the TVL, whatever they say. Oh, my side thing, what up?
The members from the Jungle, on the other hand, are known to be closely affiliated with another close by set called BKN, also known as Nitty Block, named after a Jungle member called Frank Nitty.
Bro, they're right by the United Center? What? Bro, what? Are you... United Center's right... Dog. Wow.
Also to Nitty, real name Frank Looney Jr., who was killed in 2019. It appears that eventually Jeff too would get close with the Jungle and BKN, with some videos still existing online showing him hanging out with them on their block. Unfortunately, as the rumor goes, the relationship between the Bloodhounds and BKN or Jungle would eventually go sour, after members of the BKN would allegedly turn on them and rob Jeff for some watches, with BKN then, according to Chiracologists, hopping on Instagram Live to gleefully show their alleged $50,000 bounty.
Is these the two kids that lost their life because of this? I think this is.
And the two guns that were used to take them.
I think this is right here.
Yeah. What does it say? Ain't coming like, look, tell the op. Be something broad day. You take the show for him.
We got like 50K down. That fake AP they got.
I'm pretty sure. Cause I saw a video before when he was I think this is.
I just turned off card.
In the video, they showed off 2 stolen watches and an iced out chain. And funnily enough, one of the watches was seemingly one of those fake iced out watches designed to look like an iced out AP watch, like the one from the coffin video, with Redditors seemingly noticing that one of these watches was almost certainly an imitation AP, which was in fact an AP tribute by fashion watch company GLD, which currently retails for less than $700. And this is something that the thieves would actually point out in their video, ironically mocking the target of their robbery for having a fake AP.
Stop wearing that, stop wearing that fake. Tell her I'll start wearing that fake.
Oh, wait, fake AP they got down there, man. Y'all ain't
fake.
I just turned.
While the other watch was just a plain Jane Cartier Santos, which if real would be worth as little as $3,000, along with a matching chain that reads Bartier, which I guess would make sense for the Bloodhounds if they were swapping the C's with B's like old school Bloods when they were buying a chain to match the Cartier watch. But clearly, this was no 50 grand lick, and arguably such a small taking that the robbery would certainly not end up being worth the consequences that would come soon after, as despite the
Hold on, y'all better back this bathroom, hold on. Alright, y'all, we back, come on.
Low value of the items taken, it would be the damage to the ego of the person the items were taken from that would escalate the situation severely. Jeff too would seemingly later open up about these events, saying that nobody took anything from him by force, but rather they ran off with them when he wasn't paying attention.
Public service announcement. On my dead grandmother's head, if I'm lying, I'm down. God could come pull me out this car right now. I never took a dollar from nothing. A nigga said, let me take a picture, this, that, and that. I look up, the nigga then ran down. We all the way at the top of the staircase first off. The nigga then ran, I look up, the nigga taking off down the stairs with 5 more extra. And I'm like, damn, I thought he was gangster. The whole time I'm right there still working with him. I'm telling him we could keep this gangster and be gangster, and I respect it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Just keep this gangster. It's one gangster.
Then, on January the 20th, a Chicago-based YouTuber, Word from the Trenches, would upload a vlog where he hangs out with the BKN members in their hood, with this vlog also including a member called Monty, who also goes by the name Drench, or Czar, and who would allegedly be one of the people involved in Lil Jeff's robbery.
Who that?
Drench right here.
That's another one of the guys.
He by himself, man. I don't think
Brother, all the way on the other end, brother. On the other end, he by himself, man.
Hey, tell him she go up, man. I need some good sleep, man.
Hey, this I was for the guest house. I got him in the big truck. No, I just come up from the hood.
And then for the camera, man, like, you risking your life doing these type of vlogs, man. You risking your life doing these type of vlogs, like, because you don't know what can happen outside sliding day. You know what I'm saying?
I already know my name, Drench. Zah, they call me Zah, smoke your dumb like some Zah. They say I don't stop smoking.
Later, in the same vlog, BKN members can be seen hanging out inside a hallway of one of their buildings when Monty gets a FaceTime call from none other than Lil Jeff, with the energy between the two seen.
Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. I watched the I think these are the people that took his shit. Ah, man.
Tense, as Monty begins by asking Jeff where that J at, meaning jewelry, before showing off a watch on his wrist to the camera and saying again, let me see the J's, whilst also telling Jeff that they're all right here while showing his posse, as well as someone asking either Jeff or someone else how much their watch is costing, with the main member of the vlog, rapper Puda, seemingly wholly uninterested in including Jeff in their vlog.
Shit on my big cousin show, 2 feet B-nose, really the whole 4L gang, like I with the whole 4L, shout out Young Nudie, and my cousin too, all my folk down there in the 8. Going on for real.
You ain't gotta buy your man like you like industry wise like shit.
Really, like, I ain't gonna lie, twin. Like,
Look, man, we got JL, man.
hold on, y'all. Hold on. I ain't gonna lie.
Put that J in there.
Look, only artist I really wanna with right now, probably Big 30, goddamn.
How much that is on y'all wrist right there, man?
Hold on, y'all. Hold on.
Only 6 days after the release of this vlog on Friday.
Trying to tell you, bro.
The 26th of January 2024, Monty and another member of BKN or Jungle called Lil Rob, real name Robert Boston, would be attending the Innovations High School located in downtown Chicago, more specifically in an area called the Loop. And then, close to 12:30 p.m., Monty and Lil Rob, together with other students, were seemingly heading out of the school, likely going on their lunch break, with one exit being next to the Washington or Warbush L train station, a very busy location, particularly during the lunch hour. Soon after exiting the school building, 2 cars would suddenly pull up with several masked shooters hopping out of the cars and opening fire towards Monty and Lil Rob. After the shooting was over, someone standing on the train platform above the street level would capture the truly disturbing scene of the last moments of the 2 young boys who had been shot, whilst their friends and members of the public crowd around them in sheer shock, with some attempting to do what little they could to try and save their lives. Unfortunately, there was nothing to be done, and both Monty and Lil Rob were later pronounced dead in the Northwestern Memorial Hospital, while a third unrelated victim would be grazed in her jacket, the bully fortunately missing her body. Not long after the shooting, the area would be bustling with local media who would interview witnesses that had seen or heard the shooting, including the woman who had just nearly missed getting shot herself.
Went through my arm, but
during that shooting, Berenice Vargas says she was grazed with one of the bullets.
I heard like 4
I saw this part. It's in another video that somebody did, but I saw this right here. But I think them kids, the one that's what I was like, oh, they're probably in the video that did that. He got back. Damn, bro. There's that score with it too. GG's, man. GG.
super
RP though,
anxious.
RP though for you. RP for you.
Sad, and I was
Sad,
afraid
you know what I'm
that
saying?
it hit me too by accident.
Another witness would describe the shots being let off, sounding like a firecracker, perhaps meaning that at least one of the shooters was using a switch on their pistol.
Like a firecracker, you know, like a something like a firecracker, you know, like a 10-15 shot. Boom, 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 boom.
Local shopkeeper Mohammed Ashik describes diving for cover as bullets were flying, witnessing the aftermath, an emotional scene unfolding right in front of him.
Everybody looking right and left, you know, over there has a people crying, you know, kids crying, you know.
All of this happening near Innovations High School, where the two boys were students. Crisis responder Andrew Holmes speaking with the boys' families Friday night.
The 16-year-old just had a smile, that he kept a smile. The 17-year-old, you know, he was just trying to work hard to just go into the trade business.
Holmes furious, like many other community members, about the brazen events
that is sad, but I understand that. I mean, that's probably in the streets because, come on now, they're not getting killed for no reason. You know what I'm saying? It is sad, but they're not getting killed for no reason. I'm pretty sure those them two kids that was in the video, right? That stole his chain. I think. I don't know. I think. But the thing is, how did they even find them two? Like, did they know they were going to that? Like, how did they even know? You know what I'm saying? Somebody dropped the low.
He says one of those boys would be celebrating a birthday in just weeks.
You have no right to take another person's life like that. And you know, this is a brutal way. This is cold-blooded murder.
Mayor Brandon Johnson responding to the shooting, writing, quote, "My deepest condolences to their families and the Innovations High School community as they grapple with unimaginable pain and trauma caused by this senseless act of violence."
In the aftermath, even the mayor of Chicago would comment on the senselessness of this attack, and the situation was so serious that it would actually be covered citywide on numerous Chicago news reports, including ABC 7 Chicago.
As two families and a community mourn the slaying of the teens, Chicago police continue their search for the gunman responsible for the brazen downtown daylight ambush that claimed the boys' lives. It appears to be business as usual just a day after two teens are gunned down in front of their downtown high school. Many of the bullet-riddled windows have been boarded up following the slaying of 16-year-old Robert Boston and 17-year-old Montario Williams. Friends say the boys knew each other, and so did their families. Investigators say both teens were shot and killed Friday afternoon near Wabash and Washington Streets as they left school with a group of friends. The teens were students at CPS Charter School Innovations High School. That's when witnesses say a dark-colored car and a dark-colored SUV pulled up and masked gunmen got out and opened fire. Authorities say while some of the attackers
I want to know is how they even know when to pull up at that exact time. Were they waiting there the whole time? Like, how'd they know? Were they waiting there the whole time for an hour just waiting until they come out to go to that lunch break or whatever it was? Because how'd they know to pull up? Boom, like, what?
Away in the vehicles. At least two of them ran away. The wounded students were rushed to an area hospital where they both were pronounced dead. Investigators call the attack isolated and are combing through security camera video from the area. So far, no one is in custody and no arrests have been made. Police are asking anyone with any information to contact Area 3 police detectives.
Already on the night of the 26th, the police would also give a press briefing on the investigation so far, showing that the CPD was likely taking this case much more seriously than an average South or West Side shooting due to the extremely central location of this double murder.
First of all, I'd like to start out by offering our condolences on behalf of Superintendent Snelling and the Chicago Police Department to the two families that were touched by this senseless act of violence today. Approximately 12:25 today, several students were exiting the Innovations High School when two cars pulled up and a group of individuals exited said vehicles, fired multiple times, striking two of the teenage students of Innovations High School. These individuals were taken to Northwestern Hospital where they succumbed to their injuries. So we'd like to actually say again that our thoughts and prayers are with the families of these two students. We're asking the public, it's very early in the investigation, but if anybody has any information, we'd ask them to call Area 3 Detective Division at 312-744-8261. Can also be reached in email at tipcpd.com. At this time, it appears that a group of approximately 6 students were exiting, and there's no confrontation. Like I said, several individuals exited 2 vehicles, approached the group, and fired multiple times. At this time, it's still very early in the investigation. It's just several individuals exited those vehicles where the gunfire erupted. There was an individual, a woman that was walking by. Her jacket was grazed. No medical treatment was sought, and she's talking with the area detectives right now. She was not a student, no.
And these teens are Innovation High School, or were Innovation High School.
Yes.
What do you tell us about their ages?
17 years old and 16. At this time, we believe it to be an isolated incident. You know, wherever the tragedy like this strikes in the city, it's heartbreaking for the families and everybody affected by it. It's a tragedy no matter where it happens. But down here, as the students were exiting, we believe it's, like I said, an isolated incident, and that there's no danger in the area continuing. We believe one to be a dark-colored sedan and an SUV. At this time, no one's in custody at this time.
Astonishingly,
crazy,
despite
man.
this seemingly being a targeted Hitman-style execution taking place in one of the most central locations in Chicago in broad daylight, there would seemingly not be any possible suspects in the aftermath of the shooting. But there would certainly be a whole lot of dissing going on, particularly towards Monty, with members of the Bloodhounds also taking part in this on social media. And it seems that in the week following the shooting, there may have been some get-back shootings happening too, because in early February, Jeff would post on his Instagram how his ops had lost their mind and were killing innocent people. Jeff would also seemingly get a new tattoo around this time of 10 teardrops falling down his neck, the message being that he had now officially updated his body count to 10 murders. But perhaps most notably, 2 of these teardrops appeared to be connected to each other, with many people believing that these 2 connected teardrops actually referenced Lil Rob and Monty's murders. Meanwhile, BKN were also seemingly dissing Jeff with a rapper called Get Back Dot, dropping a music video for his song Lost My Mind, also in the beginning of February, where 2 watches are shown together with the song title, these watches being clearly different from the earlier video, supposedly showing BKN members flexing Jeff's watches, yet seemingly very similar to the other 2 watches that Jeff had displayed on his second Instagram, with this suggesting to me that he hadn't got the watches back, but had at the very least upgraded or kept a much better pair of watches. However, the next move from Jeff would be the motherlode of apparent self-snitching that would end up arguably changing his whole career trajectory, as on the 16th of February 2024, exactly 3 weeks after the shooting that claimed the lives of Monty and Lil.
Yeah, that was the song I heard, bro. He was literally talking about what happened to them 2 kids. I'm pretty sure they're from what? BKN? I'm pretty sure, I think they're from that set. For real.
Rob, Jeff would release his biggest song to date, a track titled Ah, together with a music video that now has almost 2 million views. The video begins with the Bloodhounds showing off their full gun arsenal, before Jeff begins his confession, verse, starting by saying how he's toting a 10 milli and that his gun has some recoil, before saying, then people did what they did and therefore had to pay the consequences. He then proceeds to explain how he still hops out of the car when he's doing hits and also drives the car because he's so thirsty to catch his ops, before saying that you would think he's lying if he told you about all the things he did in the streets. But Jeff was only getting warmed up, because he then proceeds to state that when he speaks it's only facts and that his supposed victim was screaming ah when he got hit, and how this person had been acting tough online but was now laying on the floor. This was another jaw-dropping lyric when you consider the fact that in the footage of Lil Rob and Monty after they've been shot lying on the floor, you can actually hear one of them screaming ah. Jeff then puts the icing on the cake by rapping how he just walked into the lid store to buy 2 hats, a hat, of course, being slang for catching a body and murdering someone, going on to say that he's really stepping in blood, which would eventually become the name of his posthumous debut album, before explaining how his victims didn't get a chance to run, so can't say that he tripped, and that Jeff and his buddies hopped out with 4 guns and 2 people got hit. Jeff then further continues by saying that he has lost his Draco, so he's going to have to use a switch on his pistol, and that before they were his ops, they were his fans. And the verse just keeps on going, with Jeff then rapping how somebody's best friend died and he wishes that he was dead with him, but it won't take too long until he's also dead, because Jeff is a madman who can't stop chasing and killing his ops, before explaining that they got the drop on their ops and spin the block, which would indeed seem to be
I told you they got the drop, because I don't know how they even know that exact time they're gonna get out. Someone probably from the school probably dropped the location, dropped the low, because there's no way. There's no way.
Only way that an attack like the one pulled off on Monty and Lil Rob could even be pulled off. Jeff would say that his favorite ops got killed, and he then appears to forget for a moment that he was in the middle of a confession, or perhaps he simply begins to reminisce about his earlier crimes, as he then lays down some bars about taking cops on high-speed chases and how he refused to fight and will just kill you. He explains how he loves robbing people for their jewelry, particularly watches, as well as being so thirsty that he might even take your socks off your feet, as well as saying that he'll pull up on the side of your car and kill you right there. Jeff then continues saying how he's the top op and known for putting his victims on Fox News, with the local Fox 32 Chicago channel also being one of the first news outlets that reported on the killing of Monty and Lil Rob.
We begin with breaking news. 2 high school students killed in a Chicago Loop shooting.
Jeff then finally ends the song by saying that he is indeed everything that they say he is, a slimy guy who will walk you down before killing you, before shouting out Q50 and sending a stern message to all his ops that they better watch their mouths when talking about Jeff. But of course, Jeff was only getting started with the dissing with this song, and he would soon continue disrespecting his ops on social media, where even Shoebox Baby from O Block would comment on his live questioning how come Jeff suddenly has so many views, asking him if he's a rapper now, while Jeff would rap lyrics from his Ah song before noticing that a BKN member was commenting how Jeff was going to die, with Jeff then dissing BKN, saying how sending threats had gotten Sav killed, this being a possible reference to a 17-year-old boy from Jungle's neighborhood called Ray Sav. Real name Raekwon Williams, he was killed in 2016 and had seemingly been even close to Vert in the past, as well as saying that sending threats had also got Lil Rob killed, the implication likely being that Lil Rob had died due to Monty's actions.
Wow. And that's why Sab ass dead now, because y'all ass sending threats. They get your man.
I mean, that comment, look what happened, man. You're saying you live by the streets, man. You die by the streets, man. It's just the way it is. It's sad, bro. I feel like we just gotta really wake up as peoples and realize this is not cool. It's not funny. You know what I'm saying? This
threats like that, and then your homie go get up. Now you gonna merch it on him next. Now it's on Dre. Now it's on Lil Rob. You know what I'm saying? Now it's on all these new ass.
Jeff would also then begin to diss a young alleged BKN member called Baby Do It, real name Kadoni Smith Jr., who was found shot to death inside of a burning car in December 2023, only 15 years old, with this murder allegedly being a get back for Monty killing two equally young boys from a rival set.
They put y'all shorty in the trunk and set his ass on fire. Y'all look ain't that man. I ain't got pissed out like that. Whoa. They burnt this to hell. They said this quick. Boy, I let better go play somewhere for us.
Still in February, Jeff would also post a picture of himself smoking on 2 blunts at 2:20 p.m. with the Chiracologists, who were now beginning to turn into full-blown Lil Jeffologists, commenting why couldn't he wait until that time was 2:22 p.m. to make the message even more obvious, with everybody now seemingly involved in this inside joke that Jeff was sharing about allegedly killing 2 high school students. Jeff's apparent self-snitching about the case would only become more brazen as time went on, and in April, he would once again do what appeared to be either a semi-confession or alternatively an example of Jeff reaching a level of trolling as promotion that resembled a true work of art, as Jeff's music was now beginning to reach some noticeable popularity, not least due to the rumors of him being behind this brazen double murder.
All kids, they down. I'm done giving kids passes. It's a wrap. You know that if I get mad enough, the will start happening. And y'all know this by now. I went black for like a week and poof, gotta go. After that one, poof, I came back, poof.
In April, he would make the now infamous Instagram post of him holding a picture of 2 hats with the description supposedly symbolizing each of his victims with a different emoji, with the last 2 emojis being those of a graduation cap, another rather obvious reference to the fact that Monty and Lil Rob were killed while leaving their high school. Also, seemingly around this time, Jeff would post a cryptic story on IG of his phone screen with the date 13th of January, which would have been almost exactly 2 weeks before the murders of Monty and Lil Rob. In the story, Jeff says that he never wants to feel like he felt that day, and that after whatever happened that day, he made a promise to himself never to forget, and that it's been 4 months since he stood on business, plus then some. Vert 2 was seemingly participating in the dissing, releasing a song and music video titled Out West, with Vert, of course, seemingly having a long and personal connection with the West Side sets, Jungle and BKN, that had now come to an end, just like his long affiliation with Trap City had come to a close the previous year. In the song, Vert raps how he's not too cocky to ask his friends for help before seemingly dissing Jungle and BKN for trying to beef with him whilst their homies had been killed, and specifying how he had been just chilling and kicking back when hearing who had gotten killed, this perhaps being a reference to Monty. Vert dedicating an entire song to allegedly dissing his old friends from the West Side seems to point to his involvement in whatever took place between the Bloodhounds and BKN, which is also something that members from Trap City, including his former friend Tiro, would later indicate during his vlog with X-Man Rico.
And the reason I was saying that too though, because some things unforgivable. For like one thing I wanted to ask you, because bro said this happened over a chain. People was reaching out trying to have me do a story, tell me about Vert got robbed and something like that, and that's how the beef started.
Got robbed by who?
I don't know who did it, but they say Vert got robbed and shot.
Nah, he ain't talking about that. He talking about when Vert. Oh, out west?
He did get poked?
I don't know. I heard they got something happened to him.
I heard some shorty them took their ass.
I was locked up, folks. So I was saying, I was just sending to the county.
Yeah, I was in the county.
But got robbed and you know, through the grapevine.
That's crazy. That is crazy. See what I mean, y'all? It's crazy out here, man.
Back on phone. Business. Ain't them got back.
For sure.
In between the dissing, Jeff was also increasingly boasting about his other favorite hobby together with Q50. This hobby, of course, being allegedly robbing people for their jewelry, particularly watches. With this boasting almost seemingly also getting mixed in with slick disses towards BKN. Jeff and Q50 would even proudly show their bounties during Instagram lives, even showing pictures of their alleged victim, a man called 6300 Bredo, and their bloody hands wearing the stolen watches.
I'm gonna show y'all who got it. Fuck, I'm mad. It wasn't him, but it was his number. I'm gonna show y'all. Look, first he had on. It's him right here. Ooh, I see it. He had none of this. What a person. Man, we exposing this. Show that dick. We got an AP already, Storm. I'm having a way in Chicago, Illinois. Now we got another road. Hey man, give the people that shit back. It's like they should never been trying to kick it down Atlanta Green. Man. That's it, $10 that cost him his whole hustle career. Everything he worked hard for, it cost lost it all. He tried to. Hey, look, y'all. You said take this picture. I was done now. Oh, weeds. I got blood on them diamonds and I still wore it. This part of my tattoo. They don't know if that's a tattoo or a ring. Nah, they ain't no. The Bloodhounds feel like they the only ones that's in the right. You might as well. You don't know other but the guy.
This alleged watch incident with Bredo would allegedly even lead to something way more serious, as not long after, a member called Slide from his TMC set would allegedly get shot in the head, his exact condition after this alleged shooting remaining a mystery, while Jeff and Q50 would once again hop on social media to mercilessly troll their ops, even saying that Jeff's 11th body was now pending.
On my dead grandmother's head, is somewhere on the deathbed, down, if not dead, down this moment. Shit got hit in his brain. Got hurt. He can't even talk to y'all. He can't even tell you how he feel right now. He don't even know. He's supposed to be 11 right now, but I'm pretending.
In one ominous live, Jeff would also say how they weren't expecting him to make it to 2024, but that he's made it with a new watch on his wrist, before once again saying how he's up 10 bodies.
They say I wasn't supposed to make it to New Year's. I done made it to a New Year with a new watch. These hate me. I done made it to a New Year with an AP. I love the New Year. I'm so happy I made it. I done made it, yeah. Let me make it now. I'm icy. They can't take it. I'm up 10. I need some more. Play that real quick.
In this same live, Jeff would also tell how he's
made it to the New Year. He has 10, but he wants more.
Taking his fans to killing school, but all the applicants need to have at least 2 bodies under their belts, mentioning how he's putting this limit in place as a tradition, which seems to be yet another reference to Monty and Lil Rob, as well as referring to the infamous King Von lyric where he says that you're not a true killer unless you've got 2 bodies.
I'm taking just a killing school. Class starts next week. You gotta at least have 2 bodies though, for I ain't coming with no, if you ain't got shit, I can't work with no beginners folk. You gotta at least have a 2. I'm gonna give y'all 2 minimum. I'm gonna start at 2 minimum, cause y'all know where I'm gonna start at 2 minimum. Now I'm just doing it for a tradition. I'm gonna start at 2 minimum, man. 2, you gotta have a minimum of 2. No, anything, you gotta have 2. You gotta have a minimum of 2 of them to come to school. You just gonna sit your dumb ass in this seat and whatever I say, do it. If you do anything scary, I'm smoking yo. Nah, I'm just playing. I'ma have to though, cause now like I just thought you was ready and you lying. Now I gotta kill you. I thought you over there in the lake. I'm about to water.
Jeff was clearly feeling himself, and he would also seemingly start and intensify beefs with numerous other people and sets.
800, the snake, OTV, the whole low end. Nah. Yeah. Hey, shorty, Mike, y'all, that's dead. Yeah. You niggas, Chicago, matter of fact, the city, all y'all too, watching me. Bam too, fuck Slide too. Oh.
One of these being another popular Chicago rapper, YFG Fatso, who Jeff would often diss on social media.
Fatso.
That he dissing everybody. Dissing everybody. Literally dissing every single body.
Ain't no That little boy better play his part. You know that.
This would seemingly even lead to a false rumor in April that Jeff had been killed, which Fatso would allegedly help spread, with the drill expert Squid Ape then making a post on his Instagram debunking these rumors. But anyway, things had also been happening in the streets closer to home, as in March 2024, a well-respected Trap City OG called Lil D, real name Delegance Crawl, had been killed following an argument during an insane shootout where Lil D was also able to shoot his killer, before another man would take his gun and chase his killer down and shoot him some more. Despite Trap City and Drill City and the Bloodhound still being in deadly beef, both Jeff and Vert would pay their respects to Lil D on social media, showing how mixed up the friendships, alliances, and rivalries had gotten at this point between these two factions. A few months later, another tragedy would strike when another OG, 36-year-old man named Tyrone McClinton, would lose his life. Better known in the streets as TY, Ty, or G-Ty, he was allegedly from the infamous set NLMB that are closely affiliated with Drill City, with some
What? NLMB?
Some even theorizing whether the hit on Monty and Lil Rob had been done by the Bloodhounds together with the younger members from
Yeah. That is it for part 3. I'll see you guys in part 4. This might be either probably 5 part series or 6. I'll see you guys in part 4.